Hey everybody, Mr. Bright and Shiny Worm here today to talk about a random topic, which is the topic of teabag shooting on PC. So if you play Xbox or PlayStation, you probably don't encounter this issue, I would say as much. I'm not gonna say you never do, but you probably don't encounter it as much. But basically, over here on PC, there is this, I guess you could say a tech that players use when they're playing on mouse and keyboard, where they essentially spam their crouch button while shooting. Okay, so they're like teabagging while shooting. So they're bouncing like, up and down, blah, blah, blah. Probably, you can't see my mouse. Hold up here. There's some little buttons on the side here. They're, probably using these buttons to, as they're aiming, just spam, and they teabag up and down really, really fast. And it's something that I see all the time, but I don't really have an issue with it. And I've seen just some light banter across media, various media, about people, I guess, complaining about it and stuff like that. But I don't really have an issue with it. Now, this is a strategy that PC players employ to basically throw off another PC player's aim, right? Because if you're crouching up and down, somebody's trying to shoot at you, like they're either missing crits or they are just missing their shots entirely, all while you're able to kind of, maintain your aim a little bit better because you're in control of your players' movements, right? And that's the reason why players do it. That's the whole premise behind it. But I don't see why players continue to do it, except for out of habits, right? I was playing an Iron Banner this week, and I was in a lobby. Of course, Iron Banner is a lot sweatier than your regular Crucible. The Iron Banner is still skill-based matchmaking, as opposed to regular like Control or something like that, where it's not skill-based matchmaking; it is connection-based. But I was having that happen a lot, and I think it's funny because I can never tell if players are just doing that to be a movement tech or they're doing it to be toxic or what, right? So I was giving the old emote, the old hand cannon emote, like that on them anytime I see that, and then of course they get all toxic and teabaggy and shooting my ghost and stuff like that. But it's all playful banter to me, I guess. But players, they get all mad because they try this technique and I still kill them, right? And it's like they get infuriated. Like, number one, if you're ever gonna teabag somebody, I don't care if it's a strategy or if it's just trying to be toxic or trying to be playful, because I know there's some people that playfully teabag. I see it. I had somebody in a lobby the other day that apparently recognized us from YouTube and was teabagging, and they invited me. We played a few games together. It's great, blah blah blah. But those are the reasons why people teabag. So obviously, like, if you're gonna teabag shoots at me, or employ that strategy, you can talk all you want about, oh well, it's strategy, blah blah blah, but like, if I kill you, like, I'm gonna return the favor, and I don't teabag. I think that it can be perceived in a very negative way, so I just don't do it. But I'll definitely drop the old emote because I think it's hilarious. But players, they get so like aggravated, and this is kind of, this is leading us into another topic here. Players get so aggravated whenever they're trying these MNK specific techniques against a controller player. Mind you, like I said, I do play on controller. Okay, I don't have the accuracy that MNKs have, but I do have aim assistance, right? And aim assistance is the hard counter to crouch shooting or teabag shooting, whatever you want to call it, right? Because if somebody's shooting you and they're going up and down on on MNK, you're struggling to try to keep your aim on point, right? Sorry, let me turn this brightness up here because it is freaking dark because it got dark outside. There we go. You're trying to keep your reticle on aim, and they're crouching, and they're like, oh well, now blah 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 blah. But with controller and aim assistance, you don't have to do that. Like, the aim assistance basically takes over for you. In fact, here recently I've been using a lot of 300 round minute sidearms. In fact, with these sidearms, like, it almost helps when people crouch shoot because I use full auto. I've always liked full auto, so I have that setting turned on. When I'm shooting, I'm typically aiming for like chest, neck area and letting the recoil move it up. So when you're doing the crouch shooting thing, you're giving me free headshots. Like, I can't tell you the number of just 4-shot crits I get, that lightning 0.6-second time to kill, and then players, they'll be teabagging and stuff like that. And the reason I'm making this video is because I got somebody that added me that just wanted to talk smack. Pretty standard. Sorry, now I'm really bright. Holy crap. I have a window right here, and the sun is a pain because the clouds are out, and then the sun's out, and then the clouds out. Blah blah blah. But this player wanted to be really toxic, saying how I was toxic for using Rat King and I'm trash, blah 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 blah. Even though I was at the higher end of the lobby, obviously, getting lots of kills, going on high kill streak. I think I had like a 10, at least one 10 kill streak on that game. And almost every engagement I got in with this player, I would come out on top because they were employing this strategy of teabag shooting. If you are a PC player and you want to employ that strategy of crouch shooting, teabag shooting, whatever you want to call it, that's fine. But you need to learn, I should say, very quickly in lobbies, not just in general, but like in your lobby, you need to learn who's using a controller, who's using MNK, because crouch shooting does not work the same against controller players as it does MNK players. Okay. And like I can think of in these situations, like 90% of these situations, if they would have just stood there and shot and just strafed back and forth, because strafing's good enough, right? Strafing is good enough. They would have probably got the kill. Like I'm out of range with Rat King. Like Rat King hits 51 a crit. Rat King's range is terrible. I don't actually know what the drop off is, but I guarantee you it's probably like at like 15 meters at most. Maybe I could be wrong, but maybe, and I'm outgunning hand cannons at least like 20 plus meters. Because I just sit on the trigger. I don't even go for headshots. Rat King is horrible at getting headshots. It is one of the most inaccurate guns in this game. I swear. Bothers the heck out of me that it's like that, but neither here nor there. But it's so inaccurate. But these players, they're trying this like teabag and doing all this stuff, and I'm literally just laying on the trigger into them, and I'm unaffected by it. So I don't know. I guess it's just thoughts, random topic for the day. But it also brings up another issue of I want to say something along the lines of skill, but I don't think skill is the right like term for it. But it's something along the lines of like, why do players feel the need to say somebody's trash when that player clearly outperforms them in a game? Why do players continue to insist that players like me, for example, I'm crutching on Rat King, like seriously, okay? Because players, and I've used Rat King for years now in the Crucible. Like I've got like 21,000 kills on it. I think about at least 14,000 of those kills are Crucible only. I just never changed the kill counter because when I started using it, you couldn't change the kill counter way back long time ago in like D1 vanilla or D2 vanilla, but it has gotten like literally no buffs. It got a catalyst, which is great. The catalyst is phenomenal, but at the same time, like players continue to insist that I'm outgunning their immortals, and their shotguns and stuff. And they say, "Oh, like you're crutching on Rat King." I'm like, if I'm crutching, why don't you use it? Seriously, like if you're going to send hate mail to somebody or send rage mail to somebody and accuse them of crutching on a weapon, especially when that weapon is incredibly underused and not seen, why wouldn't you just pull out the weapon yourself? Like I know everybody's got Rat King. Like the exception is maybe like New Lights. Okay, Rat King is one of those things that like you just get it, But players still like they want to, talk smack. And I don't think that it is an issue of I'm actually crutching on Rat King. It's just that they're mad. They're mad and they can't accept that, hey, like I was outgunned, I was outdone by somebody using something that is really off meta. Okay. And like I said, like I didn't pick this up one weekend and just say, hey, I'm going to use this a couple games, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, like I am a religious rat. Okay. Like I use this thing in Crucible very regularly. I use the invis, I use the health regen all the time. I'm very, very good with it. It's the same thing as, there was a player I've matched with a couple times. He uses, threat level and no feelings. Threat level is the Black Armory shotgun that came from Scourge of the Past raid, and then no feelings is the scout rifle. It comes from the same thing. Literally every single game I match with him, he's got like a 4 point something KD, and every single game he's got Knucklehead radar on, he's got the Hake shader on, he's got no feelings, he's got threat detector. I don't remember what heavy he uses, and he plays that style like an absolute legend. Okay, no feelings. It's a decent scout rifle. I wouldn't say it's the greatest. Threat detect or threat level, again, it's a 140. It's not the best shotgun, but like the man has used it for so long and so much that he has mastered the art of getting kills and using that loadout. I have mastered the art of using the Rat King. Okay. And I'm not even I wouldn't even say I'm like the master of it. I've used it a lot more than other players, you know, and yes, it will happen every now and then. Somebody will pull out Rat King and like, oh, like I got to see what this is all about. And they can't get kills with it because it's like, well, you know, it sucks. If you don't learn the recoil, if you don't learn how to shoot, if you don't go for crits with Rat King, you just go for body shots because I got a 1 second TTK on body shots alone, which is good enough for me, especially when you're invisible, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, players, they like to just, you know, if you are using something that is way off meta and somebody sends you hate mail and they're like, hey, you know, you're trash, you're crutching on whatever, don't listen to them. They really don't know what they're talking about. They have no idea, you know, what's good. They're just mad because you're outplaying them with something that is so off meta. They feel like, oh, like I should not be dying to this as much as I can. I shouldn't be dying to Rat King as much as I am. I shouldn't be dying to what's some random ambiguous weapon, Graviton Lance, for example. I shouldn't be dying to Graviton Lance as much as I am. So because they're using it, it must be OP, right? It must be broken, but I will refuse to use it, you know? Like, it's different if somebody sends you a hate mail and say, hey, you're crutching on the Immortal. Yeah, kind of, you know, I don't want to say anybody's crutching on anything because a lot of players, you know, who don't play Crucible have an Immortal, and you know what, more power to you if you use the Immortal in the Crucible. I don't care if you use the Immortal or not. I don't care if you use, you know, max range, what is it? Ostringer with the Wombo combo, or, you know, Rose with a God Roll. I don't care what you use. You use whatever you're comfortable with. I'll use what I'm comfortable with. And then it becomes a test of skill. You know, who is the better player? Is it me? Is it you? Do I know how to play my loadout better than you know how to play yours? Or do you know how to play better than me? I don't know. Yeah, anyways, this is just a random topic video. Let me know what you think. Number one, about Rat King, because it is a slept on weapon, especially with the Catalyst. Without the Catalyst, it's not that great, but with the Catalyst, you can string together some nutty kill streaks. But yeah, let me know what you think about that. Also, of course, let me know what you think about hate mail and people, you know, do you agree? Do you agree that, you know, if somebody comes in here and they accuse you of crutching on a weapon, blah, 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 that, you know, they have the right to do that? Or do you think that they're just doing it because they're mad? I think we all know the answer to that, but yeah. Random ass topic for today. I don't know. Couldn't think of nothing else. But yeah, if you liked the video, please drop a like, because it was fun to talk about, that's for sure. And of course, subscribe for more daily Destiny content. And hey, check out this video while you're at it, because YouTube thinks that you will like it. Guys, that's it for me, and I'll catch you on the next one.